Wanna grab a frying pan and lay you out on the floor. That filth you talk, that stench just flies out of you. I should have listened, yeah, I should have knew. When you said you loved me, I should have picked up and ran. Grabbed my unicycle and rode to Japan. Hang out with some geisha girls, sing karaoke and get a tattoo. Do everyone and everything to forget about you. Yeah. Okay, so here I am again. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can keep me down. No mask can hold me in. Okay, sorry about that. Just kind of feeling a little frisky there. So, yeah, had a nice day here today. Nice sunny day. Took the dogs out for a walk, mowed the lawn, did some construction in the house. And yeah, things are going okay. I hope your day was uneventful, as in nothing extremely bad happened to you. I did go to a supermarket today. That was rather strange. You know, you can, at least here, you can go shopping without a mask because it goes against the German Constitution to deny service to anybody for any reason, and which means they cannot deny you service because you're not wearing a mask. They put the sign out in front, yeah, and it says that you need to wear a mask, but if you don't, there's really nothing legally they can do. But boy, do you get the looks. My goodness gracious. If looks had words, they would be grandma killer, old person killer. I mean, that's because basically, that's what we've been told. And I would have to say the numbers back up that statement because I really don't know what the exact numbers is, but what I've heard is around 75, 78, maybe higher percent of the people who died from the coronavirus are of older age. Yeah. And most of these were in retirement centers, assisted living centers, old folks' homes. And I just saw something today that was a bit, wow, eye-opening, I should say. And Colorado Colorado amends coronavirus death count. Says fewer have died of the coronavirus than previously thought. I wonder why. Colorado has made a stunning and significant change to the way it counts COVID-19 deaths that reduced the statewide figure from more than 1,000 to 878, according to the report. So how did they count them before? He looks like he died of corona. Okay, put it down. Sounds good to me. The change came after Colorado's Department of Public Health admitted that COVID-19's death toll was counting those who tested positive for the virus, but had died of other causes. So apparently, you could test positive for this virus and you could live a nice, happy day. You can live out the rest of your life without it, without contracting it. Just because you have it, it's kind of like the people who have HIV. Yeah, you have it, but it doesn't really, metastasize. I mean, everybody has cancer cells in their body, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get cancer now, does it? So apparently, this old guy died. He tested positive for coronavirus. Well, yeah, but we realized that, but he slipped his head on the tile floor and cracked it open on the sink. Well, it doesn't matter. He tested positive for the coronavirus, so put it down as the cause of death is the coronavirus. Really? I mean, I know I might be stretching it here, but come on. Realistically, don't put it past them. The department now says 1,150 Coloradians who died had COVID-19, but only 878 of those deaths were due to the coronavirus. This is one instance, one state coming out and saying, we need to amend our death counts because we've been basically putting everybody died because of the coronavirus. This is just one. Just think what happens or what could happen when more come out. What is it going to take? What will it take? And this is a question that I was thinking to myself just 15 minutes ago. Really, literally 15 minutes ago. I was in my car. I drove somewhere and I drove back. And on the way back, I thought to myself, what is it going to take for people who feel that it's okay right now to force businesses to close? It's okay right now to force people to wear masks. And it's okay right now to force people to stay in their home because it's for the good of all. Now, this is what the narrative has been. It's for the good of all. But what will it take for that one person who is saying it's okay, for them to say enough is enough? Because I guarantee it, right now, mark it down on your calendar. I said it right here, right now, within, let me think here. 1, 2, 3. See, this is January, March, April, May. This is May. June, July, August, September. I will say by the end of this year, you will no longer be able to, okay, wait a minute, stop. Once they have a vaccine, you will no longer be able to fly anywhere unless you have had this vaccine. Along with your passport or along with your visa and your airplane ticket, you will also have a certificate of COVID-19 immunization. Without that, you will not be allowed to fly. Period. Unless, of course, it's a private plane, which I don't know how many of you out there can afford your own private plane. That is going to happen, mark my words. Write it down right now on your calendar or on your phone. Does anybody have a calendar anymore? I mean, I have one. I have like dates on there, garbage pickup day, but usually use our phones for that. But still, whatever you use, write it down or mark it down or type it down because it's going to happen. And when that time comes, then will that person who is accepting all of these rules, all of these restrictions, will then they think and say, yeah, okay, enough is enough. But by that time, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. This is a slow process, yeah? It's just like taking a frog and putting him in a pot of water, yeah? Turn it up slowly and he'll die. He's used to it. Throw him in boiling water and he'll try his best to get out. That's exactly what's going on here. We are being primed. So when that time comes that A, you will not be able to fly without a certificate of immunization, and B, you will not be able to get new employment without this certificate of immunization. C, you will not be able to rent an apartment or a house or a flat without this certificate. Driver's license, forget it. You need the certificate. Loan, forget it. You're a risk. You could die before your loan's paid off. Get a certificate. This is what this is leading up to. And I am surprised more people are not opening their mind for this. I am surprised that most people actually believe the government is looking out for their best interest. When has that ever been done? When has the government or a politician actually ever cared for the best interest of the people? I would love to know. Yeah, they're not doing this because we care about you. That's poppycock. That's unbelievable. But yet, people believe this. Hey, you can, live your whole life with blinders on. That's fine, yeah. Bumping into walls, and sooner or later, those walls are going to hit back. But as long as you keep those blinders on, I guess you're fine and dandy. It's okay. It's all right. I don't care. After the situation with Edward Snowden, yeah, I know I'm kind of changing gears here. People who thought about that way back when, and you heard people discuss that, be careful now, the government's listening to everything you do. You would look at that person and say, right, okay, dude. Yeah, good, right. Yeah, we would discount them. We would think of them as a tinfoil wearing hat lunatic, a loony. We do that with most people who talk about conspiracies. And look what happened. I mean, now we accept it as a fact. It's common sense that the government, reads your emails, checks your phone records, listens in on your phone calls. This is common knowledge, and I believe we pretty much have all accepted it. Haven't we? We pretty much have all accepted that no matter where we go in this world, we are being tracked in some way or another. And I will have to say that, yes, okay, Apple has, in my eyes, they have defended the privacy of some of their customers, which is great. But overall, your privacy is pretty much out the window. And Edward Snowden, basically with his revelations and all of the documents that he leaked, people started to wake up and realize it. And some people were pissed off, including government leaders. After 9/11 in America, we saw so many of our rights stripped away from us, all for the sake of security, which those who really think about it, it's a false sense of security. The steps that the American government has done has made Americans less safe, not more safe. Invading a country, attacking a country, killing off civilians, a country that's never attacked you? You think that is going to make friends? That's going to make enemies. You bomb a farmer, kill his son and his wife, what do you think that farmer's going to do? What would you do? I think that's one big disconnect that we have, is we have the inability to be able to step in someone else's shoes and see it from their perspective. Because who said it? One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. That farmer who picks up a gun and attacks an American embassy, who is he? Is he a terrorist? No, he's not a terrorist because he's on his own. He's in his own country, for Christ's sake. How could he be considered a terrorist? He's attacking an invading force. It's just it's difficult for a lot of people to be able to shut off that surge of patriotism and think that, oh, my country has never done anything wrong. I don't understand. Why do these people hate us? We've never done anything to them. Read your history. Read your history. That's all I got to say. Don't just accept. Don't take what is spoon-fed to you. Read your history. Absolutely. All you got to do is call in. And if I remember how to do it right, I can get it up and going. I think it's ready. So yeah, if you'd like to call in again, this isn't open phone lines, open to everybody and everybody. And anytime you want to call in, your call's welcome. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. But yeah, I was talking about the privacy issue and the fact that government has never done anything in the benefit or with the benefit of the people in mind, of their people in mind, of their serfs in mind, of their citizens in mind. Pick what words you want. They're serfs, serfdoms. They have done things for the benefit of themselves and for their close friends and supporters. That's it. It's not for the normal everyday person. So these rules that they're putting out, these stay-at-home rules, lockdown rules, shutting down businesses, you really think that they're doing it for the benefit of the people? They're doing it for someone else. And it's not the poor guy who had to close his doors and lay off 2 employees. It's not for them. You go ask them. Go ask them. Speak to someone who's really been affected by it. Because mark my words, these people who made these rules, these draconic situations, these guidelines that they're putting down, it hasn't affected them one bit now, has it? And yet they sit there and stand there and look at the television screen and say, we've got to do something to help the American people. They will not be able to last for long, and it's our job to make sure that they're taken care of. Well, fuck you. You're the one who put them in this situation to begin with. What are we supposed to do? Thank you now. Gee, thank you. Thank you. That's so nice. I'm so happy. Oh man. I mean, that just sucks, you know. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have someone on the line? Ah, hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm just tired. It's like I'm just tired basically. It's not anything. I'm just
What time is it where you at? Where you're at?
it's nighttime. It's nighttime.
Okay, okay. So you're tired. Yeah, you know, that happens at nighttime. Did you have a long day at work? I mean, it's Saturday over there. No, or is it Friday?
Well, basically how it works is that Friday and Saturday are kind of like off Friday and Saturday is kind of like off days.
Yeah.
Friday especially because like, there's an important prayer during that day.
Okay.
So yeah. But anyways, so like I was just about to say like it's much more dangerous to be an enemy of the state than to actually be a criminal.
Well, absolutely, because if you're an enemy of the state, I mean, the state has all the legitimacy behind it. Whatever it does will be legitimized.
Hmm?
And if a criminal, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're at home and somebody breaks into your house and they steal stuff, and well, yeah, he will be punished. But more often than not, when the government breaks those borders, when they step across that line, they're not punished for it.
Hmm? And not to mention sometimes the criminal isn't punished at all. Sometimes you know what I mean.
Could you repeat that, please?
I like sometimes criminal isn't punished at all. Not like like how does this like sometimes the criminal isn't punished. Stuff like that
Yeah, yeah.
because like you know
No, I hear you.
because yeah, because it's much more dangerous to be an enemy of the state than a criminal. Because if you're a criminal, they won't devote much time to you at all. Like they might think they'll catch you make enough trouble, stuff like that. But compared to being an enemy of the state, it's much more dangerous than being a criminal. Because like criminal, they don't care about you. You know what
Sure. Actually, yeah, you're absolutely correct. If you're a criminal, then you're faced with legal fees. You've got to hire a lawyer. You got to pay for that lawyer, and of course, the state has a never-ending river of money. They don't have to worry about situations like that. And even if you are a criminal, you have a really good system for criminals. For guilty people, you have the luxury of the what's it called? The plea bargaining system. Have you heard
I
of
mean?
that? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so you have the ability to, even though you committed this certain crime, you're not punished for that crime because you go ahead and accept a smaller crime. That way they don't have to worry about all the court costs. But of course, that system penalizes innocent people,
Hmm?
which is just terrible. But you're absolutely right. To be an enemy of the state is much more dangerous. Very scary. You saw that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
saw that movie, right? Enemy of the State?
Mm, no, but I've heard in the Middle East, there's tons of like political instabilities of that, and the U.S. there's like whistleblowers stuff like that. I've seen and heard things and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I got that idea for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree with you 100%. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Well, well, I don't really got anything because I hmm,
No worries.
I I had a specific I had some ideas, but like now it all goes blank.
That's okay. Well, you know where to find me, and you know that that the line's always open for you. And yeah, feel free to call in anytime you want to. Yeah.
Thank you. And
All right.
also what's the topic for the day of mass?
What's the topic for the day? Well, right now I'm kind of talking about privacy and about the lack of it, I should say. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the $3 trillion spending bill in the U.S.
Yeah, that's also one thing I know is like it seems to all go to the military stuff like that in the U.S. at least.
Yeah. The U.S. is very military friendly. Absolutely. I really don't know what to say about that. I am somewhat of an anti-military person. I think the U.S. military has become nothing but a paid mercenary group, which is at the beck and call of some private corporations.
Do you? That's so good.
And I really do not think the American military is defending America. It is not defending the freedoms of Americans. If it were, if the American military wanted to defend the freedoms of America, then they would, take over the White House.
Do you think it's partially to blame to keep what's partially to blame is the fact that people keep the military up how this is apolitical, like they keep it not political.
Well, yeah, the military is not political. And if you speak to a military member, which I know quite a few of them, they do have their own political beliefs, but they keep them to themselves.
Yeah,
and they don't.
Sorry,
No,
sorry, go ahead.
no, they don't think. I mean, once you're in the military, you don't really think about that you are there for America. You are basically there to protect yourself and your comrades. It is now a team. This is our family. What America tells us to do doesn't make a difference to us. We really don't care about what the president says. We are protecting our own team.
How, may I ask, how do you change how the military functions, and the rationale behind the military and stuff like that? Would you change anything like that? Or would you change, like, how would you change it, may I ask?
Well, I would kind of go back to, I mean, right now the American military is located in over 100 countries, or spread around the world. This is something that was never intended when the American military was formed. It was never intended to stay out of the U.S. And America has not declared war on any country since World War II. And yet we have invaded so many other countries, it's just laughable. What I would change is I would make a strict adherence to the Constitution and the powers which were invested in Congress. They are the ones that have to give their okay for any type of military action, but yet they have decided to, disregard that section. And it's very unconstitutional. It has been for the last, 60 years, but nobody really talks about it.
Yeah, that's right. Like, like as you say, no one really talks about it. Here, this kind of divide. There's I don't know if I should say about my place of that. I don't know if I should talk about my place or just continue with your topic.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to do with mask?
Whatever you're more comfortable with.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't like this is your stream. I don't want to impose stuff like that.
This is my stream. I've set it up. I run it, and it's open for everybody. And if I find a caller who calls in and wants to talk 30 minutes about how pretty their new carpet is, I probably will dump them fairly soon because it's not really entertaining and it's not really interesting. If you feel that what you have to say is interesting, then go right ahead.
All right. So you when I sent you that photo of the communist
yes.
and so on?
Yeah.
Yeah, like thing is like a lot like here politics like we know like this that we know the government is like authoritarian, like unlike the US where like it's more subversive, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They lie and they lie about the freedom. Here it's quite open, like here
Right.
it's quite open, you're not free.
Right.
It's quite open, like
Mm-hmm.
it's overt, so to speak. And
And
I think that's much better than subversive because at least you recognize you're not free, and there's more people actually walking and stuff that do against that. So
yeah, no, I I think that's very clear. I mean, that's a very honest approach. Listen, you guys aren't free, and we know we're not free, and the government tells you that you're not free, and that's fine. And you're right, that is far better than this cognitive dissonance of thinking that I live in the freest country in the world, when everything that's staring you in the face is contradictory to that.
yeah.
So what happens when you step out in public with the sign that says, I'm tired of being a slave? What would happen?
Here,
Yeah.
like here, oh, okay, so here, like if it's like politically charged message stuff
Yes.
like it has definite signs like that, then you would most likely be taken by the police and then be handed in the secret police hand, and you'd be faced with like basically one guy here insulted like the leader of this area,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of got sent to prison
Okay.
just for an insult, And
Okay.
he didn't do anything. He just got just for an insult, and he got sent to prison for it.
Mm-hmm.
And in prison, like you face like beatings, overcrowdedness,
Mm-hmm.
and some bits of torture. Not a lot of torture, but like it's mostly prison conditions that do it. Mostly
Okay.
prison conditions rather than mostly prison conditions. Yeah. And the
Okay.
thing is, like, I find that it to be better because like like for example, say the like the people in the US, for example, in the Europe and so on,
Mm-hmm.
people who actually go against, who actually whistleblow and so on,
Right.
like they're not used to prison. They're not used to like being seen as like as how do I say this? I don't know how to say it.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Yeah, like the whistleblowers, the political the political enemies of the states of that in the US and Europe,
Yeah.
they're kind of spoiled in a way because
Mhm.
they don't expect to go to prison,
Sure.
and they don't expect to have any hardships of that.
Mhm.
They just like here's the difference. Like imagine the U.S. If like a Nazi or like fascist or communist or whatever, just someone like in the fringe, not in the establishment of that.
Mhm.
If they were put under police suspicion, they would crack, right?
Perhaps, depending on the individual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's just that here I know here in my area,
Mhm.
the ones who fight, the ones who are like against the states of that, then they're not that like they expect to go to prison. They
Okay.
expect it, and they're not that bothered by it. That's the thing.
So basically,
Like
I understand. Basically, you're talking about two different sorts of people. You're talking about the people who will say grew up on the dark side of the street, who are used to being beaten when they leave their door. They know that around that corner, any time at any place, they could be grabbed up and thrown into a black van and have bamboo shoots shoved up their fingernails. They know about this. They live this, and they talk about it every day. And then you have the other guy who has a nice cushy job, who drives a nice car, who has an attitude, or not an attitude, but maybe he's a little bit flustered and a little discontent, and so he decides, I'm going to go out and join this protest, and because it's a good thing to do, and then he gets caught, and he's not used to those conditions because he grew up in a totally different situation. Is that what you're trying to get at?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this for everyone, but I've noticed that a general trend.
Sure. Yeah, no, I would, that's common sense. Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct there. I think you're absolutely correct. And that's a lot of oh, you hit the nail on the head, I should say.
Yeah, this is kind of why like how I think it's like this kind of why I don't like I like the modern cultures of that. It's focused on like seeking pleasure and avoiding suffering. The
Hmm.
thing is, sometimes you need suffering to make yourself more tough. You know what I mean? To be to make yourself more tough, to grow your character. It's
Well,
like,
yeah, they say it builds character. Sure, it builds character.
but 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 like we should like I don't know how to say this, but like, oh man, I really. Uh, so yeah, basically, we shouldn't avoid suffering to the point where we totally avoid suffering, and we shouldn't seek pleasure to the point where it becomes the only, like the only thing we pursue. You know what I mean? Because like, if your life consists of nothing but pleasure and avoiding suffering, that's no life at all. You got like, where's the freedom in that? Where's
Well,
the
well, I'm gonna
growth in that? So,
I'm gonna avoid
yeah,
suffering as much as I can. I'm gonna avoid suffering as much as I can. I will weigh the risks of my decisions, and I'm telling you that if I'm going to join a protest, then here in Europe or in America, yeah, the worst that's going to happen to you is you're going to be arrested, you're going to be taken to jail, you will be basically cited, and then you will go home. And then later, you will have to come back to court to defend yourself. That's it. That's the amount of suffering that you would take if you're going to be in a protest. Perhaps if it's a major protest, you might get some tear gas sprayed in your eyes. You might get beaten on the head with a baton. People in France have had their eyes shot out with rubber bullets. And so, but still, we weigh what we are fighting for and weigh the consequences of it. But I will avoid suffering to the point that I'm not going to stick a needle in my eye just because I want to feel pain.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, but like, I I think it's what you say. Like, it's the risk thing. Like sometimes we have to accept the risks. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
like
Well,
it's
there's,
worth it at the time.
yeah,
You good?
yeah, I hear you. And I don't quite understand this. In the chat, somebody wrote, pandemics don't build character unless you stay at home. They kill you. Who are they in this case? The pandemic? Is that what this guy's talking about? Rye 87? I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Oh, I think it was responding to my comment that suffering kind of builds character. So I think it
Okay.
responded to that.
Okay, could be. All right, guy. So thanks again for the call. And again, you're more than welcome to call anytime you want. And yeah, we'll talk about something else next time. Yeah?
All right, so you're gonna end the call.
Yep, that sounds good. I'm going to continue on with a couple other things here.
All right, have fun.
All right, you too, guy.
I'll be in the stream.
Way to go.
So I have to leave after 30 minutes though.
Okay.
But I'll be in the stream until then. Don't worry.
Okay,
So,
man.
Enjoy.
Yep, you take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was a great call. It's nice. It's nice to have somebody from a different area of the world that has had different experiences than I have, that has grown up in a different time. So that's really cool. And this is kind of basically what the concept, my idea behind this stream this channel is to get people from around the world and have them talk about whatever is on their mind, because everybody's going to have a different opinion. And hopefully we can learn from each other. What the guy just said about, a life full of pleasure, absence of suffering. How do we really know it's pleasure if we don't have anything to, counterbalance that? Yeah, that does make sense, and something I don't really, haven't thought about. But I got some other stories here. We talked about how Colorado has decided to come clean and say, oh, hey, by the way, all of these corona deaths we've been saying, well, we've kind of, skewed the numbers a little bit. So that's just the first state to say that. And Now we were just talking about privacy, and that since 9/11, Americans have seen their privacies stripped from them left and right for a false sense of security. And as I said, it is a false sense. Everything that the government has done since 9/11 has made Americans less safe. Not safer, but less safe. By invading countries which has never attacked America, by using drone attacks which killed countless of civilians, farmers, normal, everyday shop owners, children, people. That does not create a feeling of friendship. That creates people who hate you. And I said it before, if we would only put ourselves in the other person's shoes and see how we would feel under those same situations. If some country flew a drone over Texas, over New Hampshire, over Colorado, over Seattle, dropped some bombs, killed a bunch of people who were non-combatants, not military, what do you think those people are going to feel? What do you think the people of the family members of those people are going to feel? They're going to hate it. They are going to hate them. And they're going to do everything they can to try to relieve that feeling of loss. And for some, that might be cutting the head off the chicken. Yeah. At the moment, anarchy. I'm just reading what's in the chat here. Sorry, I'm not reading the story. At the moment, anarchy is literally what is keeping certain communities alive. That's true. The federal government has literally failed and abandoned certain areas of the country to the pandemic. So what? The federal government, the areas that they left off, great. It's better for the areas that the government has not touched at all. Get the government out of these areas. Get the government out of the areas because, as I said before, the federal government does not have your best interest at heart. They do not have the interest of their citizens at heart. That's all there is to it. When have they ever done anything beneficial to the citizens, for the citizens? If they want to do something good for the citizens, yeah? If the federal government decided, we really do care for our people, we want to make sure that they're happy, that they live a prosperous life, how about we have a national cake day and the federal government will find out what your favorite cake is and we'll ship it out to you? That would be great. That would be a sign of friendship. They care about me. You see that? They brought me my cake. But no. They do not. They do not care about the average person. They don't care that people are dying in the street. They don't care about the businesses that they shut down or the employees that are now do not have a job. They don't care about that. Why? Because they're not affected by it, because they don't live in the same world. They do not live in the same world that everybody else is. Pie would be better. Absolutely. God damn it, send me a pie. Send me the pie that Grandma used to make. Coconut cream pie. I haven't had a coconut cream pie in such a long time. That'd be good. Haven't had banana cream pie forever. But, yeah, that'd be a nice sign. No, that'd be a nice sign. But anyway, talking about our privacy, you think that our privacies have been stripped away. You just wait to see what's going to happen now. Wait to see what's going to happen now. It's going to get worse. Much worse. Edward Snowden could not have even thought about what's going to happen now. I'm going to play this video for you. This was on CNN. And they're basically talking about this exact issue. Now, I have not, just to let you know, I have not even listened to this yet. So, which is a bad thing to do. I as a host, should listen to these things, but I didn't, so here we go.
Last week that a successful strategy combining herd immunity with social distancing for the vulnerable requires that the authorities know and record who is and isn't immune. So how would that work?
How would it work?
It actually builds upon current systems. We actually do not need to create anything different. There's a way to either check the nasal swab to see if someone's infected, or soon to be a blood test to see if someone has previously been infected. That establishes if you are immune. You put it in the existing registries we have, we all use. When my wife gets her chickenpox shot, it's entered into an online.
Question. Has anyone here been tested? Has anyone here seen these drive-through test sites that I have seen on the news, where people drive up their car and somebody there is in a hazmat suit and they reach in with this little, what is that called, like a Q-tip thing, and they swab it in there? Has anyone done this? Have you seen any of these drive-through stations? I'm just curious. I don't live in the U.S. anymore, so I'm curious if you've actually seen them. No, and I will not. No, I would not. I would not get tested either. I mean, that's freaking. I mean, it's so McDonald's, no? You drive in and you get your Coke and hamburger and you're on your way. This, you drive in and you get tested. Okay, so you have not been tested. Have you seen any of these testing sites? They have to be made public, no? People need to know where it is, but I don't know. Has anyone actually ever seen them? Now, I'm not saying that I believe this whole thing is made up. Yeah, I'm saying that I believe there is a virus, just like the flu, the same sort of thing that we had never shut down a whole goddamn global economy for. I'm just saying that, has anyone ever seen one of these? I mean, we've seen them in the news. We've seen pictures of them on the newspaper, on the internet. But with your own two eyes, have you actually ever seen one of these drive-through testing places? I haven't. Just to let everybody know that this is the live call-in show. You can call in anytime you want. I'm going to pop up the, here we go, blah, 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 blah. Boom, there you go. We got a Discord call-in line. We got a Skype call-in line. You can call in and basically talk about anything you want. You just got to let me know. And, yeah, I will put you on. I guess Skype, you have to send an invite, but it's there, right there. So anyway, yeah, how are they going to know that people are immune to this or not? Let's continue this and find out exactly what he has to say.
Registry, it's HIPAA protected. You put that information in. Now the individual knows it. She or he can show it to their employer. Say, hey, listen, I'm immune. I have a little bit more freedom to work where you wish me to work.
Bam. You see what he just said? God damn it. I said this. Jesus. I just said this. Mark my words. In the future, in the very close future, you're not going to be able to get employment without one of these certificates. You will be listed as the unclean, the ones to keep away from. You're not going to be able to get a bank loan. You're not going to be able to go to the university or to a college or even to school unless you have one of these certificates. You're not going to be allowed to fly. Think of that. You want to go on a vacation? You've always dreamed of seeing Australia? Well, forget it, dude. You need one of these certificates. Otherwise, you're a danger to the people on the plane. That is where this goddamn thing is heading. And I don't get it. Why people don't fucking see it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, hey, listen, man. If you like what you hear, please, follow me. That's great if you follow me. And I stream on Twitch, YouTube, Mixer. Although I think Mixer's gonna pull me. Something about I might be a little bit too offensive. Whatever, pussified. I don't get it. But anyway, YouTube. What did I say? Twitch, Mixer, as of right now. Another streaming platform called something Africa or something like that. Yeah, so that would be great. Yeah, the more followers I get, the more I can do. So that's great. So getting back to this, call here, or this conversation here.
Dr. Fauci yesterday spoke of certificates of immunity. Let's watch.
It's one of those things that we talk about when we want to make sure that we know who the vulnerable people are and not. This is something that's being discussed. I think it might actually have some merit under certain circumstances.
Oh, fuck you. They might have some merit under some certain circumstances. I swear to God. Okay. All right. Okay. Here. Okay. You see it, right? You see it. There it is. It's on CNN Business. Officials waive virus for surveillance options. Man, if you want to watch the rest of it, by all means, jump up there and watch it. I can't watch any more of this because it just pisses me off too goddamn much. It just pisses me off too much. I just don't understand why people don't see this. Yeah, certificates of immunity, damn straight. You're not going to be able to do one goddamn thing without them. We are creating a third-class citizens here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have the wealthy. We're going to have the people who have these certificates. And with these certificates, they can work. They will be able to get employment. The people without the certificates will not be allowed to work because, mark my words, I guarantee it, the government is going to come up with a new law having something to do with the health of people in workplaces. And unless you have an immunization certificate, then you are putting your coworkers at risk and you will not be hired. You will not be allowed to work. We are creating a third-class citizenry. Absolutely. This is going to happen. Oh, but that is, we have Nancy Pelosi coming out and offering, asking for a $3 trillion stimulus bill. Yeah, that'll help people out. That's going to really help them. We're going to get them, used to this. We're going to get them hooked. We're going to get them hooked on the government. They don't need to work for a living. No. We're going to just pay them money. Money that we just print out of thin air. And they're going to be happy with us because we really care about the American people. We really do. I mean, it hurts us so to see so many people unemployed, locked in their homes, can't even go sit on the beach. This is terrible. We have to help the American people. Yeah, help us by getting the fuck out of our lives. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You have to realize that Americans, not just Americans, people around the world do not need their governments as mothers and fathers for their whole goddamn life, because that is the role which we have given them. We have allowed them to take the role of our parents until we die. Is that what you want? I'm just too pissed off. I'm too goddamn pissed off. I'm going to cut this short. We will talk again. And starting, not next week, But the week after that, I'm going to have a guest caller. This is a guy that, believe it or not, I went to school with this guy. He's done a lot of things. He's traveled a lot, been to Hollywood, has some very interesting stories he's going to talk about. And yeah, we're planning on some big things. And everything depends on support that we get. And by support, I just mean follow us, man. That's all you got to do. Click I like this. This is somewhat interesting, kind of entertaining, kind of different from what I hear because I'm not right and I'm not left. They're both screwed up. Yeah? I do not support any politician out there. None of them are worthy of my support because they're all liars and thieves. Every single one of them. Liars and thieves. We've all said it and we all feel that way. So, all right. So, yeah, I don't support the right or left or center too, or center at all too. Well, if you're not right and you're not left, what are you? I'm glad there are others out there who get it as well. Yeah, me too. I'm glad there are others out there who get it as well. It makes me not feel like I'm a loony bin. A human being, damn it. There you go. Right on. That's all we are. That's all we are. We're not German. We're not, American. We're not French. We're not Chinese. We're not Japanese. We're all fucking human beings. And we all want the same thing. No matter where you live in the world, we all want the same thing. Of course, somebody might want a PS4 and someone might want an Xbox, but deep down, we all want the same thing. We want to live in peace. We don't want war. We want to be able to work in a job we like, meet someone, have a relationship, perhaps have a family. But we all basically want the same thing. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what religion you are. We all basically want the same thing. But they do their best to divide us and keep us divided. And I'm glad there are other people out there that can see through that. So until next time, I hope everyone is good. Yeah, take care. Don't get hit by a bus. If you do, hopefully it's not driving too fast. So anyway, take care. Until next time, ciao.